Here is what you're going to do on social media in fall of 2024 as a content creator, as an influencer, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner to absolutely pop off and thrive on social media this fall, because fall is comeback season for us content creators. And today I'm going to break down your content strategy for the fall. I've never done a video like this before. I'm so excited for this new series on this account. I've worked in marketing and influencer marketing and with content creators in the world of content creation for over 10 years. I've also worked one-on-one with over 500 content creators over the last year. And both with myself as a content creator and with people I work with, I love to treat content in seasons. It's something I've done for so long. And so I'm kicking off a new quarterly series we're going to do over here for every fall, winter, spring, summer. I'm going to do a content strategy so we can all step into a new season of content together. We're going to talk about content ideas, content pillars, your new era, your new theme, your new brand, and what we're not going to do on social media, what we are going to do on social media. And the most fun part about all of this is that we're all going to do the content strategy together. I'm going to do it as well. I feel like the busy blooming community over here, we need some sort of keyword or like some secret phrase when we see somebody else posting a piece of content from this video. Let me know if you think of anything in the comments. But I personally love treating my content in seasons, both for myself, for my business busy blooming, but also for my content creator clients. I feel like when you're creating content on social media, it is so easy to get in a rut and get burnt out and just stop having fun with it. And I think a lot of the time that happens because we set out for certain goals or certain content pillars or start a series or start a certain platform, and we don't let ourselves pivot or adjust and get realigned throughout the year. And so what treating your content in seasons does is it gives you multiple opportunities to reset, refresh, pivot, rebrand, have different goals, different priorities, and just be always refreshed and in alignment and have fun with your content. And fall specifically, I've decided for all of us, it is comeback season. The content strategy today is not going to be heavy. It's not going to be very technical. It's really, I want you to feel like fall 2024 is when you're going to have fun with content and thrive on social media. You're not going to be burnt out. You're not going to be stressed. It's going to be a little different than a strategy I might do for the beginning of a year. So the January strategy might look a little bit different, but I always feel like fall is comeback season. On a quick personal note, if you're watching this in real time, I wanted to just say I took a little bit of a break and I'm so excited to be back because I went and I got married, which is very exciting. Anyways, that is not the point of this video, but I wanted to just say thank you for all the love over on Instagram and in the comment feed on YouTube. It's just a very exciting time in life right now. And I'm so excited to get into the fall 2024 content strategy. I need a comeback era, a comeback season. I think you might as well. So we're all going to get into it. Let's dive into our fall 2024 content strategy. First thing always when doing a content strategy, if you've watched a lot of my content, you already know what I'm going to say, but having a really clear foundation of your mission, your vision, and your why, of why you want to post on social media. Content creation is very deep, and I feel like because a lot of the time we don't set a foundation of our mission, our vision, our why, we don't have success with content creation. We don't like it. We get in ruts. We get burnt out. So before we get into anything, I'm not going to do that today because I have a whole video deep diving into my process of how to do that. I actually wanted to say as well, I did create a little digital workbook version of that video. It's that video, but made into a more in-depth workbook you can download that goes into building your business, your brand, your content. It's my strategy. What I wanted to do is emulate how I work with content creators and influencers. That exact workbook is what I do in my sessions. So that is there if you want to do that. But regardless, you can go watch the video, take your own notes. Step number one before the first part is to set a foundation of your mission, your vision. And now let's get in to the content strategy. The first thing we're going to do in this new season of content, this new era of content, is reset and ground ourselves in our mindset. Your mindset is the most important thing, in my opinion, as a content creator, business owner, influencer, entrepreneur, podcaster, whatever you identify with the most. Your mindset is the most underrated tool and strategy that I feel like so many people just don't tap into enough, is how you're feeling, how you're doing. You could have the best strategy in the world, but if you don't feel good, if you don't feel happy, if you don't feel recharged, you can't execute on anything. So I always want to start with mindset in these videos of every new season, what we want our mindset to be. The first mindset we're going to have going into the fall is that we are stepping in to the best season of content. These are the best 4 months of the year to create content. I'm going to tell you why. First of all, our audiences, just like you and I, we're ready to get our shit together. September, October, it's back to school season. But whether your audience is people who are in their 20s, college students, maybe you talk to corporate girlies or people in fashion or people who in fitness, maybe you talk to entrepreneurs or maybe you also talk to content creators, there is a really good chance that whoever your target audience is ready to get it together, and they are also in this like comeback motivated mode after the summer. So let's keep that in mind. We're actually in like a really good phase. But also, if you are somebody who works with brands, if you're an influencer or creator who does brand deals, I have to say we're in the best quarter, because so many content creators make more in Q4 than they do for the rest of the year. When I used to work at a skincare brand, hiring influencers and other brands I've worked with in influencer marketing, the budget is mainly usually saved for the last quarter of the year. I also have a whole video on how to charge for brand deals and all of that. I deep dive into that all the time. I think that's like one of my favorite things to talk about, is how to charge for brand deals and your rates and all of that. But I feel like it's one of the most gatekept things about content creation. But this is the best part of the year for brand deals and brand partnerships. So that's also very exciting. The second mindset we're going to have is that we are not in the last part of the year or the finale of 2024. We are in the first chapter of a new season. With every new season of content, specifically with the fall season, you can rebrand and pivot and elevate and change at any time. And it can be so tempting, especially in this last part of the year, to really let the rest of how this year has gone and what you've posted in your content, your business, your brand, all of that affect this chapter. But I really encourage you to think this way. I think this way all the time, especially now in the fall and especially in the new year, that you can be anything you want on social media. You can have any aesthetic, you can have any brand. If you want to call yourself a podcaster instead of an influencer, or you really want to own being an entrepreneur, or you want to bring fashion to your content, or you want the aesthetic just to look more elevated. If you want to be more on TikTok and less on Instagram, if you want to identify as somebody who's like a super fit, has her shit together sort of creator, like that's what you can do. You can be anybody on social media. And it's also important to remember going into this last part of the year, this is the most elevated version of you that there has ever been. The person who was in January of this year is not here with us. You've evolved and elevated past that person. You've tried so many things on social media this year, so much content, so many things with your business, with your brand, and you are sitting here today going into this new season of content knowing so much more than that person did. And if you have had a year this year, I have been right there with you, and we're going to take everything we have learned and tried and tested and failed at and succeeded at and take that with us into this new chapter of content. So those are the two mindsets we're bringing into the fall. It's a fresh slate, it's the best season of content, and of course we're also going to embrace the cringe. That is always our mindset over here at Busy Blooming. But rather than thinking of like, okay, how can I end this year like kind of okay, we're thinking this is the beginning of a new season that sets the foundation going into 2025, and you can rebrand and pivot at any time with your content, with your brand on social. The next thing we're going to do in our fall 2024 content strategy is we are going to set an intention and a goal. So what I want you to do for your content strategy and for all your content on social media is think about first, what theme or era of content do we want to be in for the fall? And the secret to this is that your theme, your era, whatever word feels better, it is not internally how you view your content or how you're feeling. This is an external thing. So what I want you to think about before we get into content ideas and content pillars and your bio and one-liners and all of that, before all of that, you are going to decide who you want to show up as on social media this fall. The key with this is you're not going to tell people the new era, the new theme that you're in. You're going to show them. So instead of saying, okay, I'm officially in my entrepreneur, podcaster, elevated aesthetic era, you're just going to show people through your content. So some thought starters to set the foundation for fall 2024 for our content. This is my favorite question to ask. And if you've heard me say this before on TikTok, I do apologize. But if you were to be invited on somebody's podcast, or you were invited to speak on a panel, what do you want to be known as an expert in? And when they describe you and introduce you, what do you want them to say? Like, what do you want to be known for? For example, maybe you do content about glowing up or fitness. What specifically about the glow up or fitness do you want to be known for? Do you want to be known for the inward glow up that's more confidence and mindset and emotionally based? Or do you want to be known for more fitness and aesthetics and skincare routines, habits, mindset? Like, what do you want to be known for in your world? Do you want to be known for being somebody who keeps it really real, or somebody who is like a that girl, more aesthetic? Do you want to be known for somebody who's like big sister energy? Do you want want to really be known for an experience you've had, maybe a struggle that you've gone through? What do you want to be known for? Another thing to think about is, what do you want your content to look like aesthetically this fall? I love a good mood board on Pinterest if I want my content to look a certain way. And a really good exercise to do is go on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you watch most of your content, wherever you create on, and either screenshot or save in a folder a bunch of inspiration of aesthetics or video ideas that you really like, because we're going to use all of that later. But that's another way to kind of get the thought started of, okay, who do I want to show up as this fall? What do I want people to say about me? What do I want to be known for this fall? What is my era? I also want you to think about, are there certain identities that you haven't really fully leaned into, or are there certain identities you want to let go of as a creator on social? Do you want to consider yourself more of a lifestyle influencer, or more of an entrepreneur, or more of a podcaster, or more of a gym girly, or more of a public speaker? Do you want your content to be a little bit more fun, a little bit more light, or maybe a little deeper or more serious? Do you want your content to be higher quality, like visually? Something for me personally, I'm really working on in my short form content, because we're all doing this together. It's something when I was reflecting doing this strategy, I want my content to look more elevated and a little bit more aesthetic than it does on my short form. So take a second and think about, okay, going into this new era, this new theme, make a mood board, an inspiration board. Take a second and think about who you want to be, because you are the creator of this new season. You could really be whoever you want and do whatever you want. And again, we're stepping into the beginning of a new season for us. We're setting the foundation for 2025. So don't wait until the new year to do the things and be the person you want to be on social and through your content. You can be that now. There might be some imposter syndrome coming up a little bit of like, okay, I want to call myself an entrepreneur. I want to call myself an influencer, but I don't feel that way. I have to hit a certain number first. No, you don't. That number is not real. You don't have to sell a certain amount of your business. You don't have to be a full-time creator to call yourself an influencer. You can really step into the identity of whoever you want to be on social. So really take a step back and think, okay, when you're setting goals and a vision, what is the era you want to be in? Maybe you could come up with a cute name for it, like your elevated aesthetic entrepreneur era or something. What I want you to do is, when now we get actually into the content strategy, I want you to have a clear vision that feels fresh, that feels aligned, that feels you, and making a little more granular about the aesthetic, the vibe, your persona, your identity, all of that. Okay, we have just set a good foundation for the fall. We have our mindset in place. We have a clear vision of our theme, our era of this new fresh season of content. Now let's talk about the content strategy. Okay, what are we actually gonna do on social media? First thing we're going to do, all of us, is refresh our profiles. This is step one of the content strategy for the fall. So what I want you to do is refresh your profile picture, your highlights if needed, refresh your bio. And for your bio, I have a little suggestion of what you could do. This is what I actually just did. So the first line for the fall, it's our comeback season, remember. The first line in your bio is going to be a flex. Either where you featured, if you've been featured in publications, how many clients you worked with, how many figures your business is, how many years of experience you have. I just made my bio 10 plus years of experience in marketing. So you can make your bio whatever you want, but just a suggestion is line 1 could be a flex. Line 2 could be a fun, outward focused catchphrase one-liner like embrace the cringe, or helping the girlies feel confident at the gym, helping your Pinterest board come to life, like whatever you want the second line to be. Some sort of fun one-liner about your content. And then the last line of your bio is going to be a call to action, whether it's listen to my podcast, or go to my YouTube channel, or buy my ebook, book a session with me, some sort of call to action on the main thing you want to promote this season. The next thing I want you to think about is the link in your bio might need a refresh. I actually just refreshed mine. I made a little Canva visual for it instead of just having a list of links. But your link tree, the link in bio, you want it to be just really clear this season. Have like one link tree of a bunch of different links, or the main link should just be one really clear thing, but do a little refresh of your link tree and all the links in your bio. If you're a YouTuber, do a little refresh of the description template that maybe you have of the about on your channel, or maybe refresh your channel banner. Say with you're a podcaster, refresh your podcast about section. But we're gonna do a profile visual reset for everything, and this might be changing a little bit depending on this new era that we just chatted about. If you want to be known for certain things, maybe you're doing a bit of a rebrand this season, that might be updated in your profile, in your about section, and all of that. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do, now that our profiles and about sections are all stunning and beautiful, we're gonna move on into our content pillars. And I actually want to do something a little bit different this fall. This is what I'm gonna do as well, is instead of picking 3 to 4 content content pillars, which are buckets of content, is we're going to pick 2 content pillars, and we're going to keep it high level and a little bit less granular than we normally would, because it's fall, it's comeback season, it's fun time over here with content creation. So content pillar 1 is going to be your outer circle, and content pillar 2 is going to be your inner circle. So for content pillar 1, the outer circle pillar, this content is going to be for people who don't know you. Another way to think about this is outreach content. Because we are in our comeback era this fall, we are going to reach people who don't know us, and we might have a new brand, a new energy, a new aesthetic, a new vibe that we're going with. So content pillar 1, I'm going to list out ideas in a second, is going to be for people who do not know who we are. Content pillar 2 is going to be for people who know you, the girls who get it. You can also think of it, your followers. The difference between content pillar 1 and content pillar 2 is that content pillar 1 is going to be very high level, more generic content. Content pillar 2 is going to be a little bit more deeper, a little bit more inward focused. The first pillar, you're going to use a lot of outward focused phrases like, you're going to do this, here's how you're going to glow up. Content pillar 2 is going to be a little bit deeper. Talk about a little bit more specific, less generic 10 ways to glow up. Take one of those ideas, get a little bit deeper, and maybe make it a little bit inward focused. So that's the structure we're going to go with. And we're going to get into content ideas for each one in a second to make it a little bit more clear. But for both your content pillars, we're just going to have a big list of content under each one, rather than thinking of a signature style right now. I want you to just have the 2 pillars and have a big list of ideas with a bunch of different styles under them, because I want the fall to feel fun and not rigid, and we're going to test a bunch of different stuff. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have our 2 content pillars, list of ideas, and instead of having a signature style, we're going to establish our signature brand through more visual elements. So this fall, I want you to think about a couple of things. I want you to think about, are there any certain aesthetic things you could add to your content? Like for me, I have one of those little microphones. I haven't even done a video with this yet, but I glue gunned a little bow on it. So that's a little signature visual element. I also like to wear my Kansas City Chiefs Travis Kelce sweatshirt a lot on my TikToks. People, I feel like, know my personality immediately for the most part when they see that. Do you always want to wear a specific color or a specific hat? Do you want to film in a specific spot? Always have a cup of coffee? Do you always want to have a lot of emojis around your text? Do you want to always film with your back camera and have really clean, high quality produced videos? Do you always want to film in your car? Again, this is why a mood board can be really great, because you can go on TikTok. I personally have a folder called 2024 content ideas. Every time I see an either aesthetic or a video title or a filming style that somebody did, I save it to my ideas to get inspiration. Make a little folder of some ideas on Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is. Screenshot thumbnails you see in your home feed on YouTube, and create a bit of a mood board visual, and think of some visual things you can bring into your brand, form of a visual brand identity. The third thing we're going to do now under the content strategy is prioritize our platforms. For me, my priorities: YouTube number 1, Instagram number 2, TikTok, then Pinterest. So super simple, just prioritize your platforms. Another way to think about them is a nice to have and a need to have. Maybe you need to post on TikTok every week, but it would be like a bonus to post on Instagram. So think about your priorities. I always recommend 2 to 4 platforms is the best, but which ones do you really want to prioritize and grow this fall? In terms of a schedule, I'm going to say what I always think is the best is this perfect schedule is the schedule that works for you and your lifestyle, that feels attainable without burnout, without stress, because it's so not worth it. Quality over quantity. Just think of a very simple schedule that you know you can check off a list with your current lifestyle, where you're at right now. Something I'm going to do, which you could do as well if you do YouTube and another platform, is use the weekly topic on YouTube as like a foundation and make more videos on short form about the same topic. Maybe you're thinking, okay, I'm going to do 3 videos a week on TikTok, 1 video a week on YouTube. That's how I'm going to do it. So really take a second. Feel free to comment down below as well, but just pick an amount of content that feels easy, feels good, because quality over quantity is always the best, always. Speaking of content platforms, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on the platforms right now, because I think this might be helpful to funnel into the content ideas. So right now on TikTok, what I'm finding is that videos are getting pushed out slower. So don't pressure yourself to post 20 million times a day. 1 video every other day is a lot of content because the videos are getting pushed out differently. I'm also finding that shorter content on TikTok is performing better. I used to always post 5-6 minute long TikToks. I would say around the 1.5 minute mark is really great right now. Also great because you can repurpose 1 minute videos on YouTube Shorts and 1.5 minute videos on Instagram Reels. You can do longer videos on Instagram Reels, but they won't get pushed out as far if they're too long. Still on TikTok, retention is what matters most over anything, is how long people are watching. And carousels are doing really well on TikTok right now. So scrolling through a carousel. So with every video idea you have, do one like talking video, one voiceover text, and one carousel, because carousels are like popping off right now, both on Instagram and on TikTok. On Instagram, what I'm finding is Instagram is, in a way, in my opinion, kind of becoming the new TikTok. Talking videos are doing really well. Videos with more substance are doing really well. I feel like because I work with so many creators all the time, I can really see a large view with hundreds of people of what's doing well for everybody. And what I'm finding is that videos talking to the camera with a little mini microphone is doing well on Instagram right now. It doesn't just have to be like 5-second long, those painful videos to watch when you're scrolling through reels. Every video is like 2 seconds long. Videos with a little more substance are actually doing really great. Using your Instagram stories as FaceTime energy with polls, interactive stickers, do a question box, show behind the scenes. That's a really great strategy still for the fall. YouTube for the fall is very interesting. I'm finding that the user behavior of the app, and I said this in a couple of videos ago, is that people are finding their videos mostly, and for me as well, on the home page. So having a really bold 1-sentence long title, a really good thumbnail that's very outward focused, rather than just stuffing with a bunch of keywords that people might search, because the user behavior is people still will search for your YouTube videos. The search terms are actually going to pull more from the timestamps in the description. And so you can make the title very bold, something people want to click on. And for Pinterest, like I said, getting my Pinterest era this fall, I just want to say in general, this is your sign to go on Pinterest. Let's do it together. Pinterest is really great for business owners, if you have a digital shop, services, anything like that, but also to grow your TikTok and grow your YouTube. I work with a lot of creators who have Pinterest, and you can link anything. Like if you post a video or a graphic on Pinterest, that link, when people click it, you could make your YouTube video or you could make your TikTok account. So it's a really great way to grow as a creator too. And YouTube Shorts are always a great win. I feel like YouTube Shorts is so underrated. You can literally link a long form video on your short. So if someone clicks on your short, it goes right to your long form, which is so great. So now with all of that being said, let's move into the next part of our content strategy of what we're not going to do and what we are going to do in our content. We are not going to have filler at the beginning of our videos, specifically short form videos. What we're not going to do is say a hook and then say, hi, my name is Tess, I'm the founder. No, we're not doing that. People can read your name and your username. You do not need to repeat it. That is one of the biggest reasons people scroll past. With your videos, what we are going to do is you're going to jump right into the topic, have a really bold outward focus hook. You do not need to introduce yourself. Instead of introducing yourself, have a quick short sentence that provides some authority and some reason that people should listen to you versus other people. So for example, instead of saying, here's how you're gonna be a content creator. Hi, my name is Tess. I've worked in marketing for 10 years, blah, 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 all about me. What you're gonna do instead is you're gonna say, you're gonna become a content creator by the end of 2025. I've worked in marketing for 10 years. I've worked with 500 content creators, and I'm on a mission to help you do the same. No like introduction, no filler at the beginning of our videos. We're gonna get right to the point and have a really quick authoritative statement. What we're also not gonna do is make one video from one idea. Every video idea you have for this fall, you're going to make multiple videos from it, whether it's a carousel and a vlog or a voiceover and a sit down video. I really want you to get the most out of your content. And so you can also save time, not always having to film fresh content, fresh ideas. You can get a lot more out of your content. Another thing we're not going to do is we're not going to have no text on our videos. We're going to put text on our videos so people, when they come to our profile, can guide through. Text on your videos, a little title, is a really, really good way for an additional hook, but also to really establish your brand. So for example, if I'm going to do a video on how to start going to the gym, rather than just doing a video saying, okay, here's how you're going to go to the gym, there is such an opportunity to add a little bit of title text on your video that says something about you, like how to go to the gym, coming from a personal trainer, coming from somebody who used to hate the gym. It's such a good opportunity to get more of your brand and just more of a hook of your video, but it's also a really good way to hook a viewer in with something that's very bold and controversial in a way. Let's use the same example. If you're saying, here's how you're going to start going to the gym, the text could say, here's how to stop hating the gym, or here's how to stop crying on your way to the gym. Like something funny, something bold, because what you're saying in your caption are two hooks, but it's like another opportunity for a hook. The next thing we're going to do is I want you to always think about when you're creating a piece of content, is this savable? Or is this shareable? Would someone share this to their Instagram story? Or would someone share this to their friend? For example, if you're creating a vlog or get ready with me, a lot of that content, we lose a lot of viewership. Always think to yourself, okay, I'm gonna make a day in my life video. How can I make this something that's shareable or savable? That's what I want you to focus on this fall. Instead of just doing, welcome to a day in my life, working in marketing. What you're gonna do is you're gonna make that video a bunch of clips of the day in your life. With a voiceover, you're going to be giving tips on how to ask for a raise, in your marketing job. Or you're gonna list out 5 things you love about your job and why people should get into marketing. Or you're gonna have a theme to that vlog of 5 things you did throughout the day to have less anxiety at work. That kind of content is taking the vlog, but it's making it savable and shareable, which is going to increase the reach of your content. So with everything you post this fall, think about, would someone save this or someone share this? And we're gonna have fun with our content because it's comeback season. We're gonna be who we wanna be on social. We have a new vision board, we have a new era, we have a new theme, and we're gonna have fun because we're stepping into this whole new beginning, a new chapter. Okay, so we're going to end the video with a bunch of content ideas. So we have our 2 content pillars. Content pillar 1 is for outer circle. Content pillar number 2 is for the inner circle. So here are some ideas for content pillar number 1. The goal of content pillar number 1 is to have outreach content to reach people who do not know about your account. So I'm gonna list some ideas here. Having a reintroduction video about your story, about how you got from A to B. For example, you could do a video on how I built a $100,000 business, or how you got into your 9-to-5 job, or all the different salaries you've had in your career, all the mistakes you've made getting to where you are today. So some sort of introduction video, a reintroduction video about your story. This is also a really great video to pin to your account. Another idea for this first pillar is how to do X by the end of 2024, or how to do X before 2025. So content pillar 1, you want it to be very high level ideas of how to be a full-time content creator by the end of 2025, or how to hit your fitness goals by the end of 2025. Something very high level, something you've probably said a lot before, but this really showcases your formula. It can be very simple. Again, this is people who have never seen you before, so they've never heard this before, so it's okay to repeat yourself. So pick in your topic, the side of social media you're on, the world you're in, pick very broad, high level topics and do a lot of guides and how-tos and hacks and the secret to do what you talk about. Pillar number 1 is also going to be trends. There's a lot of fun trends going around right now. I feel like anything with Sabrina Carpenter right now is so popular. The trend right now of if you ask me on a deeper level, that carousel, anything back to school season, advice for college students, outfits for college or back to school, anything with that theme is a really good way of bringing a trend into the first pillar. So this first pillar of content is very outward focused, very high level, can incorporate some trends. You can also do a video of welcome to side of TikTok where we blank, or where are all the girlies who feel this way. And then moving into content pillar number 2, this is for people who follow you. So this is more the inner circle. So rather than doing a generic video on how to hit your fitness goals, we're doing a lot of fitness examples in this video. Rather than doing a video on 5 ways to hit your fitness goals at the gym, very generic, very high level for new people, you're gonna do a video a little bit deeper level of that, of how to stop hating how you feel at the gym and maybe a little bit more of your experience. Rather than doing a video on guide to becoming a full-time influencer, you would do a video on how to stop feeling insecure when your family and friends hate your content and talk about your experience. I love this video Kenzie Elizabeth did. She did things that dramatically improved my life. So you could do things that dramatically improved my career, or things that dramatically improved my content creation business. Or another really good video idea for this pillar is, it took me 5 years to learn this that I'm going to teach you right now, or this took me 10 years to learn and I'm going to tell you right now. So making it a little bit deeper, a little bit more inward focused. And I'm actually going to list all these out in a savable post on the Busy Blooming Instagram, so you can go check all that out. But that is our fall 2024 content strategy. And we're really going to think about this new theme, this new era of who we want to be on social media going to the fall. And I'm so excited. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I will be doing the strategy alongside you. Before we end the video, I want to say Busy Blooming, in addition to being this podcast, this YouTube channel, we also are a content creation agency in Toronto. I work with content creators, entrepreneurs, influencers, and businesses doing one-on-one content strategies. And then we also have a team of editors. We edit podcasts and YouTube videos, and we have all new fall services that just went live. So if you're looking to get support on your editing or on your content strategy, definitely check us out. I would love to meet with you and work with you. I now have a monthly consulting version where we can work together monthly. I have an updated audit service, so it's actually a little bit cheaper now. We also have the new workbook that just went live. We have a whole new website and new ways that we can work together at Busy Blooming. If you're a content creator or a business or a podcast and influencer, go check us out. I'd love to work with you. It's been so much fun working with all of our creators, all our businesses. So definitely go check us out. If you need editing, if you need content strategy, go check it out. But thank you so much for watching this video. It feels so good to be back. Let's all get into our comeback era. We're gonna have a really great fall together, and I'll see you guys next week. Okay, bye.